sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everything OG in the house. What's good? What's good? My name is D with the Digger in the house.
What's up, man? I'm D Double.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wow, man. Looking kind of sharp in that black jazz shirt you got there, sir.
Too, man.
Look at that.
Collar for you.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Ooh,
Yours kind of wrinkled though.
Hey, it's all good though. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Didn't have a chance to iron it today, but I still rock the logo. You know what I'm saying?
Where'd you get yours from?
You know where I got it from. Same place you got yours from, man.
We like to do a special shout out to Bridget Barbituate on IG.
Yes, sir.
She hooked us up lovely for these shirts, and if you don't know, now you know, and go check her out. We'll put the IG link up for you, and definitely support her because she support us.
Word up, word up. So listen up, family. We got a special episode for you today. We're talking about some soul stuff.
Finally.
Soul music. You know
Finally.
what I mean? Our favorite soul groups and some albums from our favorite albums from those soul groups.
Man, I've been waiting for this one.
Yes, sir.
I know whenever I go to a record store, that's my first question. You got any new soul? Anywhere I go, ask him. What does he always ask? You got any new soul? Damn, the rest of the shit. You got some new soul? Which is basically cold. You got any new black music?
Basically. Basically.
They lump everything in, the funk, soul. Don't get me wrong, I like the rock and I like jazz but the soul, that's what I'm looking for.
Well, it's all good. It's all good. You know what I mean? So let's get right into it. I can't wait to do this. What's your favorite first soul record?
I'll let you go first, man.
Oh, yeah?
You can't get right. You can't wait to get right into it.
Okay. All right. Ooh. First up. Wow. I'm gonna start right here. One of my favorite bands, soul groups of all time, is Earth, Wind and Fire. And this is my favorite album overall from Earth, Wind and Fire. I mean, they got several albums that I love, obviously. I love the first two on Warner Brothers. Those were amazing early bodies of work for them. But this one right here was on major repeat.
Which one is it?
And it's back in the day. It's this one right here. All in all. Earth, Wind and Fire, all in all. And as you see, it's got the back cover's kind of ill. And guess what? Like a lot of Earth, Wind and Fire albums, they got a nice little gate fold. How they rock the spot with you like that, you know what I mean? With little symbols and stuff, kind of tight.
Do you know what all them symbols mean?
I know what some of them mean, but I don't know what all of them mean. I must admit. But
it could be some satanic shit, man.
It could be.
Your best favorite album.
Well, they got the all-seeing eye over here. But
Satan.
Hey, you never know what Earth, Wind and Fire. Look at the name, Earth, Wind and Fire. For real, this is a dope album because I think this album is the best overall listen, in my opinion, to Earth, Wind and Fire, because basically I think, remember when Mona Lisa was here, she used to say this is what's the word she used? She said it was just a house cleaner album. Just put it on and just let it rock. And
what's the choice cuts on there?
Choice cuts for me is I Write the Songs for You, which is a Philip Bailey solo song. I loved Running. That was that one with the ba 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 yo, ba 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 yo yo. I'm saying that was hot. Serpentine Fire, I know you know that one. Serpentine Fire, that was a dope cut. Fantasy was the single. That was a pretty dope cut. But obviously, and I love Be Wonderful. That was dope too. And you got Love's House. I mean, this whole album is just killer. But you get that Brazilian rhyme theme. That's the one with the ba da ba 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 ba.
That one.
Ba da ba 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 da ba ba ba. And a lot of people sampled that too.
Yeah.
But just
Tribe, I think.
Tribe used it too, huh? Yeah, they did. I mean, this whole album is just a straight banger, and I definitely recommend it if you don't have it. All in all, Earth, Wind and Fire, yes sir. It should be pretty easy to find any Earth, Wind and Fire section that you say in the record store, or even a thrift store might even have something like this, right? So
I don't know, man. I got a bone to pick with you about this choice.
Why is that?
I would say they're more of a funk group than a soul group. Like when I think of soul, Earth, Wind and Fire doesn't pop into my head like they came out funky. You know, I would say they're they're more of a funk group. You know,
I'd say soul funk. I mean, the reason why I put them in soul because they do sing. I mean,
Yeah, so do funk groups. Look at Funkadelic.
Not much.
They sing, but you know, they're a funk group. You know, they got some soulful songs, but they're more known for a funk group. You know.
Well, this is still one of my favorite soul / funk bands of all time. You want to go that route? Earth, Wind & Fire.
He says soul / funk.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, but
talk about moving the goalpost.
Since you said funk, I mean, I'm saying, but it's soul to me. So I mean, I think most people would agree. And
they're funky.
They're going to be in the soul section. I guarantee.
What? There ain't no funk section. All record is in the soul section. If they don't got it in pop, what do you think, YouTube? Should it be classified as a funk band or a soul band?
Soul.
You know, leave your comments, man.
Leave your comments.
I'm calling foul on the play on that one.
What you got, man?
Since I'm gonna stay true to the soul designation, I'm gonna start it off with the heavy hitter. La 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 means I love you. The Delphonics. You can't get no more soulful than this.
Pretty soulful.
I mean, even Ghostface, he just took the title track and just rapped all over it. You know, he couldn't disturb that soul. You know, but this usually when I think of a soul group, I think 3 to 4 members, maybe 5, vocal harmonies, you know, chords, minimal arrangements, but the voice is the lead instrument. With Earth, Wind & Fire, they're more so we're jamming, and then the voice comes into focus. Like they're more groove oriented than they are.
I mean, they have a lot of instrumentation, I mean, horns.
Yeah,
you know,
they got horns, and they're more to make you dance and grooving. Like this is more. Listen to what they're saying. You put this on when you want to woo to your girl, like, hey, baby, you know, come here, let me whisper something to you, you know. Or you up in the gymnasium in 7th grade getting your slow dance on, like, yo, girl, you know what I'm saying?
I got nothing against the Delphonics, man. It's a dope group.
Oh yeah, you know, but that's my first pick, the Delphonics. La La means I love you.
And is that your favorite song on that album too?
I would dare say yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like the version of The Look of Love. You really can't mess up The Look of Love, but that's
nice.
Glad to get this.
Nice. Well, this is definitely a soul group from one of my favorite producers of all time.
Something we can agree upon.
The Impressions. And this one's called Check Out Your Mind. And
3 singers.
Cover right there, you know what I'm saying? And this is like, in my opinion, a soul masterpiece. This is my favorite album from The Impressions, and one of my favorite Curtis Mayfield produced albums that he's ever done. And this album is just, wow, there's nothing we can say about it. I mean, my favorite cut on this album is Can't You See?
Tell them why it's your favorite cut.
I mean, it's a wonderful song. It's not because Jay Dilla sampled it.
Wait. Speak when you reference his name. The almighty, late, great Jay Dilla.
It's not because he sampled it. I like what he did with it.
Because he freaked it.
You know what I'm saying? But it's not because he sampled it. I just like that song. I think it's a great song to listen to. Another cut on here is Check Out Your Mind. I love that song too, which is the title cut. That's just a banger. You got to just check out my... Dope. The way they come in with the cook, and Curtis really had a nice arrangements on that one. And this is just an overall banger, and I definitely recommend it. Obviously, if you see it in the store, go scoop it up at your soul section under I, or maybe Impression got their own soul, their own card, huh?
Usually they have their own card. You know, it's a bunch of records in there. But nowadays, in most soul sections, everything is almost, they're so dismal nowadays. You rarely see any designation. You know, very few record stores have them broken down like that. Mostly it's A through F through, you know what I'm saying?
Impressions got to get their own card.
Hey, I agree, but...
Come on.
Have you been to the soul section a lot in your local record store? Since, you know...
Impressions, y'all. Pick it up, please.
To balance out the hate on the late, great Jay Dilla, I had to bring up the Escorts. 3 down, 4 to go.
That's a good one.
And this one... Which is funny enough, they have a cover of La La Means I Love You on here, you know, which connects them to the Delphonics. But I Can't Stand to See You Cry was a masterpiece freak by him on his last Donuts. Well, I won't say his last. I think he had a couple other joints after Donuts.
Yes.
And also, this is produced by George Kerr. And George Kerr was a big producer for Stang, Mustang, and the Soul Groups. And Quiet as Kept, he produced Skull Snap's album.
Is that right?
He was a producer on that album.
Wow.
Producer and writer.
But that's pretty big news.
You know? So, yeah. You know, he had his hand in a lot of stuff there, man. He's like the most famous unsung producer. They really need to do an episode on him on Unsung, because, man,
That's dope.
He tapped into soul early.
That's dope. Next in the game for me, man, we're going to go with one of our parents' favorite groups. Anybody black out there that's a 70s baby and their parents, they know that this band was played, or this soul group was played heavily in the household. And that's Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. And this album is called Maze featuring Frankie Beverly, the live album. And the reason why I picked this particular Maze album, because it's tough, they're all ill. But this is the one with Before I Let You Go on it. And Before I Let You Go is one of the biggest songs I heard when I was growing up as a kid. My pops wore this record out religiously.
Who's
You remember K Solo sampled that, Before I Let You Go, for Your Mom's in My Business. Steady B used it too?
Steady B used it.
Wow. But it's just a very, very famous R&B soul record. And, you know, it's just one of those classics. As soon as it comes on, dun, 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 dun. I mean, as soon as it comes on, yeah, he's like, oh, everybody start grooving. So that's why I picked this particular Maze album. Also, Joy and Pain is on here, the live version. Remember that?
Yeah.
Joy,
Rock bass, DJ Easy
and
Rock.
Pain.
I don't know, man. I might have to call File again on this one.
How could you call foul on Maze and Frankie Beverly?
Because
as a soul group?
Yeah, man. Because when I envision soul groups, again, you know, you have a trio of 3 or more
You're talking about
and minimal arrangement.
Just
Maze
singers.
is more like, they were like a modern funk band, and they had a featuring vocalist, Frankie Beverly, to sing on the stuff. It's not like can you name another singer in the group?
No.
Exactly, man. You know, who did he have to bounce his harmonies off of and stuff, man?
Nobody.
Yes, that's more like a solo soul act with Maze as a backing band. You know.
Once again, leave a comment. Tell me what you think.
Know what I'm saying? He didn't do his homework.
Nah, I do my homework, man. This is soul for me.
Nah, man.
This is soul. Ask anybody. This is R&B soul.
It may be classified as R&B soul, but when you talk about the great soul groups, the Temptations come to mind. You think of like them, David Ruffin, Eddie Kendricks, Dennis Edwards, Otis Wilson. You know what I mean? You Frankie Beverly just put him up with, who was he gonna harmonize with?
Nobody.
Even Curtis had
Jerry Butler.
Jerry Butler. Well, Jerry Butler left by the time they had that one, but he had them other 2 no-name niggas in the group.
Well, I mean,
but they harmonized with him though.
Leroy Hudson was in the group too for a while too.
He replaced Curtis after he left. He wasn't there when at that album. I don't mean to hate, but I'm just saying. It's like Harold Melvin the Blue Note.
Teddy Pendergrass.
Once Teddy left, you'll never go platinum.
So this is your next pick, The Temptations.
The Temptations, man, and I picked it because of Psychedelic Shack, man, and the way the Bomb
Love
Squad.
to the cover, man. That's the ill cover.
The way the Bomb Squad freaked this. You know what I mean? And Motown, soul, and this was produced by Norman Whitfield. He was in the psychedelic phase, and I think the Temptations adapted very well, very well to the psychedelic phase. But there's other joints on here, but my favorite is Psychedelic Shack. Hum Along and Dance. You might have heard Michael Jackson and Jackson 5's version, but I think the Temptations is the one that's more groovy.
Well, that's that's a wonderful pick. Had you not picked that, I probably would have picked that myself. But I knew you was gonna go with the Temptations, so it's all good.
I mean, they had a couple other joints, that could have replaced Frankie Beverly and Maze.
Don't knock Frankie.
But I digress.
Well, since you just mentioned them, my next favorite soul group is going to be the Jackson 5. And what more can you say about the Jackson 5? One of the best groups of all time. But this right here is my favorite Jackson's 5 related album, The Jacksons. And the reason why this album is so special to me is because, so much story that goes in this album. But basically, the first story is produced by Gamble and Huff. And they had an incredible they had, like you said, they adapted very well to the Gamble and Huff sound at this time.
Who else is singing on this one?
Know what I'm saying? They all sing. Marlon sings on here.
Who's singing? What other song is somebody singing lead other than Michael?
Jackie sings.
What song?
He sings
singing lead.
Yeah, he sings I Think About the Good Times also.
That's Michael all the way.
No, Jackie's on there too. Jackie's on there too.
Who starts it off?
I think Jackie starts it off.
Michael.
And Mike.
I'm gonna call foul a third time. You know what? Except
the Jackson 5 is not a soul group.
Nah, son, that's
How is
pure
that?
funk.
The Jackson 5 is a funk group.
Yeah, you disagree?
I disagree.
Dancing.
No, I disagree.
The Dancing Machine.
This is a soul
Was that
group.
not funky?
Of course it's funky. The Temptations had a funky album.
ABC.
The
Was that
Temptations
not
had
funky?
funky albums.
Wait
The
a second.
Delphines had
But where
funky
did
albums.
they start off with? I ain't said they can't do a soulful ballad. I mean, don't
This
get me wrong.
album, Gamble and Huff, is
Enjoy
very
Yourself
soulful.
is one of my favorite songs,
Mhm.
and Good Times is one of my favorite songs. I remember I was going through a breakup, and I had that song on repeat. But
Would you, even if you think that's a funk group, you would agree this album is their most soulful album. Would you not agree with that? Produced by Gamble
I
and
will
Huff.
say it has the most. It is one of their most soulful albums because of Gamble and Huff's influence on it, but they're not a soul group.
Oh, this is a soul group, especially this album.
They're a funk. I mean, it's like, again, Funkadelic. They're a funk group. They had some soulful songs. Parliament, funky group. Their first album is soulful, but they're a funk group.
Well,
Again, who's harmonizing with Mike?
like I said, Jackie and Marlon both sing on this album.
Yeah.
They both sing on this album. Every soul group has a lead singer.
Right, but this the harmonies. This album is known for the grooves. It ain't known for the harmonies. When you think of soul, you think of the doo-wop underneath the street corner and
What?
my only heaven.
Yeah, but it
Or
advanced into this though.
It ain't advanced.
It advanced into this. Yes,
As
it
a
did.
group, I would say the advancement of the group is the impressions, the stylistics. The stylistics is a perfect example of 5 dudes singing.
They sing?
Harmony.
They sing.
The Temptations.
They sing.
But this.
This is definitely a soul album, no doubt about it. And
Yeah, it may be a soulful
this
album, but
this was a transition
it ain't a soul group.
from boys to men. You know what I'm saying? This is when they became men. You know what I'm saying? And basically grew up and became adults. You got Mike with the afro.
Show me
You know
the
what I mean?
inside cover.
Look at Mike right here with the big nose and the afro chilling. Look at Mike. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely one of the best albums.
Ladies
of
and
all
gentlemen,
time.
in the comments, let us know. Would you
I mean-
agree that the Jackson 5s is a soul group
Soul
or
group.
a funk group or
Soul
a funk
group.
act?
Soul group.
I'll say a funk act.
Like you
other
say,
than-
enjoy yourself, think happy, good times.
Yeah, but that don't make them a soul group.
Banging. My favorite song.
Soul
I
singers.
I love Blues Away too and Style of Life. Also, 2 banging cuts on here. So
Since I
Jackson
mentioned the stylistics, hurry up this way again. And I chose this particular album because of Hurry Up This Way Again. Sampled by the great Ski for
Jay-Z.
the lyrical god Jay-Z's
Mhm.
debut album, Reasonable Doubt,
Yes, sir.
on Politics as Usual.
Yes, sir.
And also, is it this one? Yeah. The God J Dilla. Freak this song till it's, man, I'm just speechless. Maybe it's love this time. He made you think he was saying, baby, dun, 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 baby. And then he let Guilty Simpson get on and rock. Son, for those two joints on here, this
it's worth the money.
Bang for your buck. You know what I mean? This is a soul group. You know what's funny though? This is also produced by Gamble and Huff. Dexter Wanzel produces for Gamble and Huff Productions. You know.
That's dope.
But I never knew what the lead singer of the Stylistics name was.
I don't know his name either.
I don't even know any of the.
But they were dope.
I don't know any of the group members' names in here.
Well, they weren't that famous. But they just have, like you say, they was like, known as the Stylistics, so they were just famous for being the Stylistics and having, wonderful songs.
But.
Yes, sir. Well,
I had to do my research on that one.
Next up in the game for me is let's go with the Dynamics. And
finally, a soul group.
See them right here in the back. But this album is a funky album now. And that's all really, I really can say about this album is that I like it because it is so funky. I mean, yeah, the harmonies are great, the voices are wonderful, but just the musicianship on this record is just amazing because it's just so funky to me. And Funky Key is my favorite cut on the album. And what made me actually buy this album was I had the Funky Key 45, and so I used to just wear that 45 out like just crazily. And I was like, man, I didn't at the time I didn't know that album or not. When I first got the 45, so I was like, if I ever see that album, I'm gonna have to get this album. And I finally found the album. And Funky Key is on here, along with some other dope cuts. What a Shame. Just Let Me Be Your Friend is dope. I mean, this album is a killer. And I definitely recommend it, obviously. Go scoop it up. It's kind of a little tough to find now. I don't see it every day. As you say, your soul section in the record store, you don't see it there that much. But if you do come across it, though, hopefully you don't pay that much for it. The Dynamics. Album's called What a Shame. Scoop it up. Yes, sir.
Well, since we're talking about the D's, I'm going to go with the Dells.
Yes, sir.
Musical Menu.
A.K.A. the 5 Heartbeats.
That is true. Love is a hound. I always liked this album. I remember this album in my father's collection. And it always, scared me because when you open it up, it shows a woman eating them. And it was like, yo, this shit used to scare me, but I was always drawn to watching it. You know what I'm saying? Putting them on the fork, eating them.
That's dope. I thought it was dope. Any choice cuts on this album for you?
I can't think of the title right now, but the late great Jay Dilla freaked something off of this.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. But I always was drawn to this album just for the cover and the inside, That's the beauty about albums that you just don't get with CDs and MP3s and streaming and tapes is the album art. Sometimes the album art told a story separate from the music that added on to the experience,
Nice.
Or you listen to the music and just stare at the art and all day long. And I always wondered, why would they show the lady eating them? What kind of music or what kind of thought were they trying to, get across to the listener with that?
Well, I love the Dells, man. Dope. And like I said, they did do a movie about them. So that was one of my favorite movies of all time. 5 Heartbeats. Eddie Kane Jr., you know what I'm saying?
Was it just the Dells or was it all the musical groups they were trying to...
It was the Dells.
Because I think they had...
It was loosely based upon the Dells.
I think, because they had the elements of the Temptations. I think.
It's inspired by.
Because I know the Dells did a lot of the soundtrack.
Uh-huh.
But a lot of the, they were trying to talk about all the groups.
I think they said that the story was loosely and inspired by the Dells story. Stuff that happened to them in their life. From what my understanding was. But go check out the movie if you haven't seen it. I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, for heartbeats.
All right, what funk group are you gonna try to pass off as a soul group this time?
This group right here, the Isley Brothers. One of my favorite groups of all time. My mom's used to bang the Isley Brothers like crazy, and that's when I first got into the Isley Brothers. And this particular album is called "Get Into Something," and it's kind of not early Isleys, but a little bit. I would say mid career Isleys, but depends how you, because they went so many decades. They have so many, you know what I mean, blocks of their career. But to me, early Isleys is like Twist and Shout, you know, and You Make Me Wanna Shout, da 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 shout, you know, them songs. I mean, so
Man, I'm sitting here like, yo, nah.
what do you mean, nah?
Isley is not no soul group, man.
Soul group.
They're a funk act, man.
The Isley Brothers was a funk act?
Yeah.
No one would agree with that.
Machine Gun.
No one would agree.
I mean,
with
not
that.
Machine Gun. I'm sorry.
No, they did do Machine Gun. Well, they did
What's
it.
the song on there? Keep on doing.
This song, I Love My Heroes Taking Inventory. That's a great song, and I love Get Into Something. The reason why I like Get Into Something a lot is because there's a fat drum break in the middle of the song. And,
What's the song that the James Brown and them redid? That's Keep on Doing.
Keep On Doing.
That's the one that the JB's bit for the grunt. That's definitely a funky song.
I mean, it's a funky song, but this is definitely a soul group. I mean, granted, they have a lead singer like most soul groups do.
Right,
Like you said,
but-
stylistics. He's the only one that sings.
Right, but the Isleys, they were more up tempo than soulful. You know, that's why I don't call it. Consider
I mean,
them
so when they first came out, you wouldn't say that was a soul group. Twist and Shout.
Twist
You
and
Make
Shout
Me
was
Wanna
a
Shout.
hype song. Like when I think of soul groups, I think of, like I said, you know,
You think it's like, so you think of like the doo-woppy.
the doo-wops, soul, slow, you know, singing my heart out like Al Green, Marvin Gaye. Keep People Get Ready. You know,
I would say Ronald Isley
Impressions.
can go toe to toe with anybody you name.
I'm not
From
saying
any
I'm not,
soul singer.
I'm not saying
any soul
he's not a
group.
good soul singer. Not by far. I'm not, you know, denigrating his talent at all. I'm saying the package that they put him into. I wouldn't compare the Isley Brothers to, let's say, the Impressions as a soul group. Like, okay, you put let's say even we took let's say Isley Brothers 3+3, when it's all of them. You know, they put some more brothers in it.
Yeah.
Versus
They were more. I would say there was it was a band, but there was a soulful band.
again, I don't have a problem with them being soulful, but they're not. When I think of soul group, what the focus was like, you know, the harmonies, the slow songs, the ballads, that type of feel. I mean, the Isleys got ballads, they got some soul, you know, slow
Major
songs.
ballads.
You know, Between the Sheets,
Yes, sir.
Voyage to Atlantis.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? But they're more an R&B act than it was a soul group. And that's what I kind of dislike about the monolith that is black music. You got our rhythm and blues. You know, when you go to, say for Amoeba, you go to Amoeba, they got the 45s and R&B. Then you got soul. And it's like, what the hell is the difference between R&B soul? And I always wondered, but now as I sit there and talk about it with you, I kind of see it. R&B is more the modern. No, well, back then they considered R&B more doo-woppy type of stuff. You know, the older groups, the oldies and stuff like that. While they considered soul, you know, some of the, like, from the late 60s on to the 80s and stuff, groups and stuff
Well,
like that.
in my opinion, to me, it was all. To me, it's all meshed together. To me, especially when you have a crooner, you know what I'm saying, in a group that can really just seriously croon. So to me, it's like it's all meshed together. That's why I picked some people in my package, like the Isley Brothers, and people that, because everybody, to me, they can.
I can't think offhand. Were there any ballads on that album, or slow jams? Because everything I think of is like up tempo or up to mid tempo. You know, like.
I think I Need You So was a ballad, but
That's like more of a party album. Now, if you had pulled out Between the Sheets, I thought, okay, you got more of an argument than you do. get into something.
Well, yeah, true. It's very up tempo, but I agree with you that. You know what I mean? Just like this other Isley Brothers track, and this one is "It's Your Thing."
Dun,
Now,
dun, 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 dun.
now,
It's
yeah,
your
I agree.
thing.
I agree. It gets people on the dance floor, but I still believe this is a soul record to me though, because it
I know
sounds
who you been
soulful.
talking to.
Yeah, I like that song too. But yeah, "It's Your Thing" to me sounds soulful though. It sounds like it just when you put it on, it sounds like soul to me.
Well, who is he bouncing his harmonies off against?
Oh, of course they don't. He's the lead singer.
Yeah, see that yeah. I'm gonna leave it alone. You guys tell me what you think. You know, I'm gonna pull up a group where at least more than one person is singing. The Whispers, Love Story,
Now, who sings? Who are? I mean, the twins are the singers.
The Twins,
I know one of them's name is Scotty. I don't know.
Walter and Scotty.
Yeah, Walter and Scotty.
You know, but I chose this one because I like the Mobb Deep sampled something off of here. Do your homework. But for Drop a Gem on them, they definitely freak something off of this. And but the Whispers, man, they're such an underrated soul group, man. You know, the harmonies, the two twins singing.
Nah, they're definitely
know.
a dope group. I like a lot of later Whisper stuff too.
You know,
Like and the beat goes on,
beat goes on,
something like that.
You know, they that was when they were on Solar.
I like that Whispers.
The Whispers, Love Story. Check it out.
What else you got, man? You got any more groups in there?
Oh man, since we talking about groups, the Shylights, I Like Your Lovin', Eugene Record, my man 50 Grand.
Yes, sir.
You know,
very big
this
sample
one,
on this one. Very big.
I like it because Cool G Rap sampled this for Number One with a Bullet, his duet with Big Eddie Kane.
Yep.
Off of his third album. But most people probably know this album for the infamous Beyonce, Crazy in Love.
Yeah, and that was a very big chart topper.
You know. But, you know.
Shout out to the homie Rich that did that beat too.
Shylights, I Like Your Lovin', man. Eugene Record produced them for a lot of their albums in their career. And they have a large discography. This is a soul group.
It's a soul group. It's a soul group.
What else you got, man?
I believe that's about it for me, man. That's about it for me. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Yeah. well, I'll take over the reins. You know.
All right.
Another example of a great soul group, the Articulate Artistics. We're gonna make this. The Articulate Artistics. You know. You know what? If you buy anything on Brunswick, any group on Brunswick, you were pretty much getting a soul group at the time in the 70s, late 60s and 70s. And I'm gonna let you do your homework on this, but there's a nice drum break on one of the songs on here. And you know, go for another soul group. Manhattan. There's no me without you. And the cut on here that I like, Wish That You Were Mine, which has been sampled from everybody from Fat Joe, Freddie Gibbs, Joe Budden, me, and maybe a few others, but it's just, it's a tale of two lovers and the cheating and the guilt.
They're the ones that did You're On My Shining Star, right?
Yeah, Shining Star. Let's Just Kiss and Say Goodbye. But, the Manhattans. And it's crazy, a lot of the great soul songs were tales of, unrequited love or cheating or, stuff like that. But definitely get a hold of this. You won't be disappointed.
Nice.
And I'll say that one for last, but I'm gonna go with the moments. Since we were talking about staying earlier, you know, this one is a moment with the moments, and my favorite song on here is actually a cover of a Beatles song, Rocky Raccoon.
Yeah, that's dope.
It's dope, and I guess all the first few early moments songs had "Love on a Two-Way Street," because I know this is on another one, but this contains "Love on a Two-Way Street," which was a, New York State of Mind, sampled by Jay-Z, but just one of the great soul songs of the '70s.
Oh, you mean Empire State of Mind?
Empire State of Mind, yeah, my bad. Sorry, Kyle. Empire State of Mind. Shout out to my man Kyle Beats. He's our fact checker. And last but not least, introducing the Whatnots.
The Whatnots.
Would everything OG be without a grill, at least on here, right?
Dope record. What's so dope about this one?
Again, this is another George Kerr produced banger. And like the Hype Seeker says, I'll erase your pain. I'll erase your pain, which was sampled by Kanye West off of, was it Late Registration?
Yeah.
And the way he freaked out was dope, But I mean, this is just an example of soul music, man. I mean, the beauty about records is they're, snapshots of what black love was, at the time. This one, I mean, and it's funny because a couple of cuts on here, Souling with the Whatnots. That's on another album, Willie and the Magnificents.
Right.
Message from a Black Man. That's a remake of the the Four Tops version. But I'm gonna say the Whatnots version was the best. Was better.
Wow.
And they did a nice cover of Dance to the Music from Sly and the Family Stone, but I'll stick with Sly and them version. But maybe I thinking about, maybe I'm a little hard on you about the Isleys being a soul group, because this was like a lot of instrumentals and funk, and then a few. I guess the lines can be blurred a bit.
Blurred.
Blurred.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. R&B and soul, I kind of like.
I'll go say with the early Isleys. Once they started getting all 6-7 members, they morphed into something different than the soul group.
The records I brought when there was 3 of them.
All right, I'll give you that one.
But
Frankie Beverly and Maze. Beverly and Maze.
Like I said, to me, R&B, soul, I kind of mesh them together because to your point you were trying to make earlier in terms of how they, when you go to the store, see the titles, they did mesh them together.
Yeah.
They blended them together. They said this is one.
Yeah, black music.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I kind of like I basically accepted the the morph. I was like, okay.
Mighty Morphin Power.
Yeah, I was like, okay, fine. Soul is soul, black music is black music, to quote Common. And I'll put them together, and to me, those are soul groups. I mean, if you slash it up R&B, then you could, because before soul, it was like you said, it was called doo-wop.
So funk was like the bastard child of soul, according to George Clinton.
Right.
So
I mean,
it's all black.
You could say soul. Soul groups are bastard childs of doo-wop. Ooh. It's all doo-wop.
And it all stems from the blues. It all stems from the blues.
Yeah, so to me, I put them together. So tell me what you think out there, Everything OG family. About my set, his set. Was one soul and was one more funk. Either way you want to go, I'm very happy with the groups I picked. Those are my favorite R&B soul groups. Period. So. Don't you think? We appreciate everybody tuning into the show. We really love y'all. We're getting a lot of viewership. I've been checking out, checking the numbers, man. It's looking kind of hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're getting up there.
Yeah, man.
Maybe we'll get somebody yet.
Hey, let's do it.
But again, we want to thank Bridget Barbitchwood for the lovely shirts. And check her out on IG.
Yes, sir.
Again, it's been a Stone Gas.
Yes, sir.
My brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. We'll see you next time. My name is Deep the Digger.
I'm Bill the Block.